Hi everyone, Scott Pyre, Pop Cult fan here, and for this video, I actually kind of want to do something a little bit different for this one, just mainly because I just saw the new M3GAN movie last night, M3GAN 2.0, and I want to talk about how some franchises have sort of fallen on their face a little bit, the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, Terminator, like franchises like that kind of go in a direction and then they just stick to that same formula and they just can't recreate that formula for it to be successful again, and how it just, they need to try and recapture the magic of what made the original work as well as they do. I'm talking about Terminator, I'm talking about Jurassic Park, I'm talking about the Alien franchise as well, to a degree. And it's something to be said. I know a lot of people like science fiction action, but there's something about horror that I appreciate a lot more, which is that, if you love, people are always going to look at the original Jurassic Park and think, wow, all these creatures, all these dinosaurs, they look so amazing, and there's so many amazing moments, especially with that John Williams iconic music just backing up like the look and awe of these dinosaurs on screen. And then you get these moments of tension with various characters throughout that film that just help create that experience. It's tension building, and you're fearing for the characters' lives, and that's what makes that film work so well. And then similar to the first Terminator film, the kind of way that both Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese are just running for their lives because of this unknown thing going after them, that the Terminator is being this kind of cybernetic killing machine. And there's so many moments that builds the tension and creates small moments with the protagonist you're following that create this experience that's worth watching. And that's one of the main reasons why I prefer horror over science fiction action. And when you have science fiction action in the Terminator franchise going forward after Terminator 2, they just can't recreate that. They can't recreate what made Terminator 2 so successful, because they're repeating it. They're repeating the same formula of Terminator 2. And it's like, we've done this like 3 or 4 times already with the same franchise, and you can't recreate the success of Terminator 2 because it was kind of lightning in a bottle in a way. And that's kind of the similar situation for like the Jurassic movies. They had a lightning in a bottle for that first Jurassic film, Jurassic Park, which came out like nearly 30 or 40 years at this point. Yeah, 30 years. Came out in 93. But that was lightning in a bottle. And they can't recreate the success because they've done it before multiple times. And with Terminator 2, you can't recreate that success. If you can't do it within the same franchise, you can't do it in another franchise, like M3GAN, for example. And the new M3GAN movie, one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of it compared to the first one is because a lot of the tension and the suspense of the first M3GAN just was not there in M3GAN 2.0. And added to that, there are certain themes addressed in the story of the first M3GAN film, and it's just not there in the second film. It's just not there. And it's just pure science fiction action comedy, which is fine, but at the same time, you lose what made the first M3GAN a lightning in a bottle. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video, because it's just, some of these franchises, they kind of go in a direction in which you're repeating the same thing, and you're copying other franchises like Terminator 2, for example, and you can't recreate that success. And I just think that in regards to some of these franchises, Terminator, M3GAN, the Jurassic series, and even, like I was saying, the Alien franchise to a degree, even though they have done a decent job of recreating the success of the original Alien, especially with Alien Romulus, and I love that film. I love Alien Romulus, and I can't wait to see how Alien Earth, the new upcoming TV show, it kind of also tries to recreate the more horror feel of the original Alien. And I like how we're getting back to that with the Alien franchise. And I want them to get back to that with Terminator. I want them to get back to that with Jurassic Park. And now with M3GAN 2.0, I want them to get back to that similar kind of spirit and heart and feel of the first M3GAN, hopefully with another installment at some point if that franchise continues. And that's mainly why I wanted to talk about here, and why I think the new M3GAN film it also goes all out there. It goes all out there with its tone. It goes for the campiness. It goes for just this kind of film that just is completely different, and it strays so far away from horror, and that is why, for me, I don't like it as much as the first one. So yeah, those are all my thoughts about the state of certain franchises like these, that I feel like they just don't know how to do it. I guess they don't know how to recreate the success of what made the first installments a lightning in a bottle success. So I have faith that maybe someday we'll get a new Terminator film that will once again be horror similar to the first. We shall see. I feel the same way about the M3GAN franchise now. I know that new Soulmate film is coming out in January. Maybe that might be it might be kind of like a science fiction horror romance, from what I'm being led to believe with the plot. That'll be interesting. But yes, so thank you guys so much for watching. A bit of a different video. I just think that with these kinds of franchises that have fallen on their face, especially Jurassic, I want to see the new Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. I don't know when I'll get a chance to see it, but once I do, I will definitely do a review for it and talk about it with you guys here on my channel. So look forward to that whenever I do see Jurassic World Rebirth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.